All right, we're live, kind of, sort of. If you're here at this point in this season, it's conference championship time, and this is Wide Right CFP. Even though our shirt says it goes right down the middle, ball went that way. All right. Thanks, Lindsay.
You didn't have to mention
It's a lot like that Patriots-Seahawks game from 2012 when they had the replacement refs, when they called it good but was very obviously out.
It was, well,
Hey, that guy was calling a CTYFL game the next week, and the fans were standing up in the stands going, go back to the NFL!
He's not kidding. I was there.
I'm not making it up. That's true. They were really there. Yeah. They were calling youth football games a week after. All right, with that said, we're going to hop into conference championship games. And our first conference championship game is going to be a doozy. It's a Sun Belt doozy, and we got our Sun Belt expert here for one more week. He's only a Sun Belt expert for one more week. Hunter, we're going to have you lead off with this Troy at number 25, James Madison. This game happens at 6 p.m. on Friday on ESPN from Bridgeforth Stadium in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Hunter, tell us what we need to know about this Sun Belt matchup.
All right, well, the keys to the game are pretty much this. How invested is Bob Chesney? I think he's proven that he has JMU as the class of the Sun Belt this season and the last couple seasons. And for JMU, you need to win this game. You need to win it convincingly to have a chance, an outside chance at the playoff for that G5 spot. We'll see how it all shakes out. But JMU currently has their whole team available to them, and same for Troy. Troy not going to lose anybody here in the offseason, barring the normal college football turnover. JMU probably portending to lose quite a few people with Bob Chesney going to UCLA.
All right, Lindsay, what do you think about this game? Who are you picking, Hunter? Before we go to Lindsay, who are you picking?
I'm going to go with the Dukes. I think that
the Dukes.
While they do have all the turnover, I don't think that Troy has what it takes to beat them.
The men of Troy. Jude's going to disagree with you, I think. I can feel it.
No, not on this one. not on this one. I'm going to go with James Madison to win as well. I am wondering why he's been allowed to coach, beyond, when another prominent coach that's switching positions isn't being allowed to lead his team into the playoff. But
I'll be right back. Hold on.
Let's talk about that another day. But I'm going to take James Madison. They've definitely been the class of that division for the last couple of years, or that conference for the last couple of years. And I don't think it's going to end this week with the Trojans.
So you're taking James Madison?
Yes.
Lindsay, I skipped over you twice here.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure I'll somehow get this wrong, even though I'm going to agree with Hunter and Jude on this one and go with James Madison. Yet somehow I will get that one wrong and everyone else will still get it right. I believe that there's a better defense that James Madison has that's going to keep Troy at bay, and they'll come out with the win late in the game. Not by much. It'll be a close one.
I was on the field with the James Madison team. I will say this. They were impressive. Their quarterback is really small, but they were impressive. They were impressively good, too. So I will go with James Madison. House sweep on this one. We're all taking James Madison for the win.
Congratulations, Troy.
Fuck them.
The Wide Right CFB, even though our shirt says the ball goes right down the middle, kiss it down. All right, there you go, Lindsay.
Hate Troy.
You don't have to say anything.
And one last time, fuck the Sun Belt refs.
Who said that? Who said that? All right. We're on to our next game, and this involves the All-American Conference, the AAC, between Kennesaw State traveling to Jacksonville, Alabama to take on the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. This game happens also at 6 p.m. on Friday on CBS Sports Network. And I'm going to tell you what, I've been a Jayville State team supporter the entire season. We're going to go and hopefully Jayville State puts those Owls in the old Steiner recliner, if you know what I mean. And with that said, Jude, what do you think about Jacksonville State versus Kennesaw State in Amherst Stadium in Jacksonville, Alabama? Who are you taking?
I've been rolling with Jacksonville State for like 8, 6, 7 weeks in a row, it seems like, and I'm not going to change now. Steiner recliner all the way.
All right. Lindsay, what are your thoughts on the AAC championship game?
Well, you all know me. I like Cox, so I got to go with Jacksonville State.
All right. All right, Hunter. I don't know how you follow that one up.
I'm gonna go with Jayville State. It's at home.
For the
there
same reasons
them.
I'm going with
They've-
Jayville State.
They've played Kennesaw State before. They blew them out. I know the hardest team doing football is beat the same team twice, but with the head coach at Kennesaw State getting a lot of hype for kind of ACC or AAC coaching jobs, particularly like the Tulane job, things like that. I think Jacksonville State having a little bit more of a tied up operation. I'm going to go.
Say AAC. This is the CUSA. I apologize.
I know, but he's getting like North Texas, who's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
For those at home, this is
Jayville
the
State.
CUSA championship. I wrongly said it was the AAC championship. It's the Conference USA championship. I digress.
Anyway, I'm going to go with Jayville State.
Alrighty. I too will go with Jacksonville State, but not because of Lindsay likes cock, but because I like the Steiner recliner. Give me the Steiner recliner.
So we're all in agreement on the first two games.
Yep, that's a shocker. I think our next game, the AAC Conference Championship, we're gonna have some differing opinions.
I think so.
Lindsay, the AAC features the number 24 North Texas Screaming Eagles versus the number 20 Green Wave of Tulane. Now, interesting thing about this game, Lindsay, is it happens at 7 p.m. on Friday on ABC, and it's at Tulane's home stadium of Yulman Stadium in beautiful New Orleans, Louisiana. But this game also features two teams whose coaches have taken other jobs, with Eric Morris going to Oklahoma State and Tulane's coach going to Hunter.
Oh, is that where he's going?
Yeah, Florida.
Do you think that was Kiff's if he wanted it?
Yeah.
Kiff had the choice of any coaching spot in the country?
Kiff had the choice of whatever program. If Kiff called up Nick Saban and said, you know what, I do want to coach at Alabama, Caleb DeBoer would be in USC right now or Penn State.
All right, Lindsay. Who are you taking in the AAC Conference Championship?
Well, you all know me. I like cock, so I'm going to go with Tulane.
I don't know where you get that from. I just don't know where you're coming from on that one. All right, Jude. I know that's a pretty hard one to follow up.
Yeah, the hard one.
It is. You open the door and Jude walked through. All right.
But I'm going to run with North Texas. I think that even though I think they're like a 2 or 3 point dog, I think they're going to go into New Orleans and handle their business and come away with their spot in the college football playoff.
All righty. Hunter.
So like kind of like the stats analysis here kind of suggests to go for North Texas. But it's in Yulman Stadium. Tulane hasn't lost there in a while. But we've seen the song and dance before. Last year we had Tulane. Summerall was getting North Carolina offers. He was going back and forth, and he was thinking about taking a North Carolina job. But they ended up getting their trounced by Army. I'm going to go that probably happens again. I don't think that Summerall's as good at kind of at the balancing act as Eric Morris is. And I like their pure air raid offense. I think Drew Meestemaker, everyone talks about, he's going to Oak State. He's going to Oak State. He has a chance to probably be the number one player in the portal, right? If he goes and puts together a great end to the season. So he won't be just going guaranteed to Oak State. He could be the quarterback anywhere outside of a very select small set of schools. So I'm going to go with North Texas because I think more than anything, Drew Meestemaker wants to make himself Drew Milliemaker.
All right. So Hunter's going with the North Texas Screaming Eagles. Jude's going with the North Texas Screaming Eagles. Cass, I'm going with North Texas. I think North Texas wins this game. I don't think they win it by a touchdown. I think we'll win it by 2 touchdowns. Take North Texas in a big fashion. Big fashion. All right, our next game. This could be an exciting one. It's also 7 p.m. on Fox on Friday from Albertson Stadium in Boise, Idaho. The only thing I can hope for, Jude, is that it's snowing there because I hate the color of this field. The only field I hate worse than this is one of the Washington schools, Eastern, Western,
Washington.
Northern, Middle Washington school
Eastern Washington.
with the red field. I don't know. That coastal field is also pretty gross, too. I mean, if I was going to picture what CSEC would look like, it'd be coastal Carolina's field. But, Jude, the running Rebs of UNLV, led by their coach Dan Mullen, travel to take on the Ashton Genty-less Boise State Broncos at 7 p.m. on Fox. Jude, who are you taking? You're kind of like a Mountain West aficionado. You're like, they're almost Pac-12 region, but they're not quite, Who are you taking in this one, Jude?
I'm going to run with UNLV because, like Ashton Genty, as a pro, Boise State kind of sucks. They're only beat teams they absolutely should have beat, and I think UNLV is going to run all over them, running Rebels all the way. Sorry, Ashton Genty. But the NFL speed caught up to you, man.
I also don't think it helps that he is being contacted 2 yards behind line of scrimmage on basically every play.
Yeah, he's got the fewest yards before contact out of any running back in the league.
Yeah, because he's got the worst O-line in front of him.
I actually
Jude, the good news is Pete Carroll might be available next year for USC.
I take it over Lincoln Riley. Shoot. Well, if you
Lincoln Riley. I don't know who Lincoln Riley is. You got to go with Stinkin' Riley.
Yeah. Although always good to beat our rivals.
Belichick will probably be
hilarious Lincoln Riley story about all this coaching turnovers. So Florida reached out to Lincoln Riley's representatives to see if he would be interested in coaching at Florida. Lincoln Riley himself apparently shot that down as he had no interest in coaching in the SEC.
Yeah, he didn't want to be in. That's why he left Oklahoma. I thought that from the beginning. And that's why he wants to go to Baylor, because he doesn't want to be in the Big Ten either.
Just wants to be where he can out-recruit at the skill position and hope to catch people in the playoff.
All right,
I'm going to go with UNLV.
You're going with the fighting Dan Mullins here?
Boise State backed their way into this game. They just looked completely unimpressive all year. UNLV has had some hiccups here and there, but I think that they're a really good team, really well coached. I don't think Dan Mullen really has his eyes on any other job. And Anthony Colandrea played great football. I like UNLV. I like the little culture they built there. And I just don't think Boise State's offense is deadly enough to take advantage of a less than stellar UNLV defense. I think UNLV's offense will carry them on the day, and they'll beat Boise State there in Albertson Stadium.
Yeah, they want the revenge from that drubbing they took earlier in the season anyway.
Yeah. Lindsay, who do you got in this game?
UNLV. I can't in good conscience pick Boise State, who has the worst looking field in the history of football.
Are you picking UNLV because you like cock?
No, different reason this time.
Oh, okay.
It's balls this time.
Because Boise State's field's the color of my balls. I can't pick them.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
All right. Nobody's watching anyways. If you're watching right now, you can click off.
Do something
Well,
else.
you think we're not keeping it clean out? Just wait.
All right. Believe it or not, I think this is Boise State's third year of going for this Mountain West Championship. I think they've won it the last 2 years. So you can't count Spencer Danielson out in Boise State. I think they're going to keep it close. Weather's going to be a dependent thing on this one. UNLV does have an explosive offense, and UNLV's offense on the ground is explosive. They have explosive plays. I don't know where they rank in college football with explosive plays, but they have to be up there because they are constantly cracking off big plays. So I, too, am going to take UNLV, but I don't think they cover the spread. I think Boise State covers the spread. UNLV wins the game outright. Go with the Rebs. On to the Big 12 championship game. We're switching over to Saturday. December 6th at 11 a.m. on ABC from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, better known as Jarrah World. The number 11 BYU Cougars travel to take on the number 4 Texas Tech Red Raiders. This is pretty much going to be a home game for Tech. I mean, fans are going to travel well from Lubbock over to Arlington. It's not super duper far.
BYU had a lot of fans everywhere.
And Tech's got a lot of fans in the Dallas Metroplex, Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. So I would imagine that it's going to be a heavy Tech crowd, but BYU does travel well. So I think it'll be a packed house. Like that will be out of all the games we spoke about right now. This will be the largest crowd that we have seen to date. Until probably the
people into the Coliseum. I saw him play at the Coliseum against SC. They had some fans.
So I think it's going to be a raucous crowd. I wish they had played this game at night, but they're going to play it in the day. Hunter, who are you taking in this game?
Well, BYU just fought an absolute war to keep their coach against. Yeah, they just got done pulling together about every penny the Mormon Church is worth to keep Kalani Sitake and crew there in Provo, away from Penn State. We had some conversations about that whole thing, but that's another day. I don't think it really matters in this game. I think Tech is going to out-talent and outplay them. I think BYU will keep it close. As much as I want Tech to pound BYU and make sure they're out of the playoff picture completely, I still think it's going to happen. I think it'll be real motivated, but I think Tech's the superior team. So I'm going to go with the Red Raiders.
All right, Jude, who do you got on this one?
I think this is where the playoff picture starts getting a little bit murky because as higher ranked teams fall, and giving lower ranked teams a guaranteed spot, they have to decide who makes it, who doesn't. And I think Texas Tech is safe, win or lose, but BYU has to win to get in. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do. I think they're going to come in and they're going to win a hard-fought battle. They lost 26-7 about a month ago. They got some good tape on what they have to improve on. Both teams are relatively healthy, and I think BYU is going to win 27-24.
All righty. I am going to go with the Texas Tech Red Raiders, and they're not led by running back Cam Dickey, but his parents are a friend of the show. We're going to try to get him on at some point, and I'm a fan of him. He's scored touchdowns, I think, in every game. He's got like 15 touchdowns, I think, for the season right now. So I'm pulling for Cam Dickey. And then the defense is led by their rock-solid, hard-hitting linebacker, Jacob Rodriguez. Now, Lindsay, is he the hardest-hitting person you've ever seen?
No, actually, I know of a harder hitting person from the town where I grew up. Actually, I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, which was like all New England's seat for Irish Catholics. And there was one parish in particular called Our Lady of the Holy Redeemer. And everyone who worked there agreed on one thing. The building was old, their budget was tight, and the clergy were bored. So that only leads to one thing, and that's how the parish ended up with an underground fight club. At first, Father O'Malley insisted on calling it the Physically Expressive Conflict Resolution Ministry, but everyone else has called it Grapple in the Chapel.
Wait. This thing's name was called. This thing's acronym was Peckerums.
That one was marginalized as quickly as possible.
All right, Lindsay. I'm sorry, we didn't mean to interrupt your story here.
All good. It's entertainment. So the room that they were holding the fights in had been an underground storage cellar until Brother Leon noticed that the concrete floor was, quote, it felt perfect for rearranging some motherfuckers' faces. So they swept out the cobwebs. They set up a ring using baptism ropes, and they hung a sign over the entrance that said, "When someone turns the other cheek, punch it." When Sister Mary joined Our Lady, she was expecting prayer, quiet meditation, maybe some baked pills.
Badass done, man.
But instead, what she got was when she walked downstairs one evening, she was looking for some extra candles, and she found Father O'Malley throwing a wild left jab, right hook combination at the deacon. She just stared. She didn't know what to do, and they stared back, and it was an awkward moment. And then someone finally said, "Well, sister, you want some of this action?" And Mary, who had grown up on a farm with 5 older brothers, had learned how to mix it up. She once suplexed a cow.
Enough.
And she said, "Let's skip it a beat." "Well, I thought you'd never ask." So she returned to the convent and began a rigorous training campaign consisting of carrying heavy buckets of milk, chopping firewood, and climbing trees. And after a few weeks, she found herself scheduled to fight Father Flanagan, who was the reigning champion and a man whose beard alone was capable of bench pressing 3 altar boys. This guy was so tough, he made Conor McGregor look like he had a vaginal yeast infection. So that night was fight night, and the bell rang, and Father Flanagan charged at Mary, and Mary sidestepped and gave a flying bicycle kick to the side of the head. He crumpled to the floor like he was unplugged from the wall. And then she walked up to his quivering body on the floor, wheeled back, and kicked him square in the junk while yelling, "Right in the sacrament! Pow!" It was silent. Brother Leon was shocked, and he yelled, "Holy fuck!" And Father O'Malley said, "Leon, can't say that." He goes, "Sorry, I meant shit." That didn't help. Well, Father O'Malley couldn't really argue the whole point, and word spread fast. The nuns began treating Sister Mary like a live grenade, respectfully, at a distance, and preferably from behind cover. And they absconded with baseball helmets and football gear from their local high school in order to wear them as extra layers of protection, just in case someone got on the sister's bad side. A few nuns even duct taped crucifixes to their foreheads as an extra measure. And life for Mary, though, became better than anything she could have possibly imagined. No one stole her Go-Gurt out of the rectory refrigerator anymore. No one asked her to organize hymnals. And no one, and I mean absolutely nobody, ever asked her to help with fundraisers again. And in an unprecedented move, the church made her the official exorcist because they figured when she was going to walk in a room, the demons would just leave on their own. So there were a lot of upsides to her life after that, including that she made a healthy income from her OnlyFans account. And to this day, it's still argued in the halls of Our Lady, who subscribed to her more, the priests or the nuns?
And scene.
Yeah, that was
And
good.
with that, I'll pick Texas Tech.
And he's taking Texas Tech. I hope that made sense to everybody. Thank you, Lindsay. We appreciate this story.
Hard hitting nun, man.
Happy to oblige. The Hammer of God, they called her.
Hammer of God.
Hammer of God.
Hammer of God. True story, by the way. This is all 100% accurate.
Oh, yeah. No, it actually happened.
All right. Also at 11 a.m. on ESPN from Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan, we have the MAC championship game between the Redhawks of Miami of Ohio and the Broncos of Western Michigan. I don't think the Broncos. What are they?
They are
Hilltop.
Broncos.
They are the Broncos.
Who's the
All right.
Hilltop? That's Western Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Western Kentucky. We have some mandatory action. Hunter. Miami of Ohio has resurrected their season right at the right time.
Well, as soon as they got rid of a cancer locker room, they got instantly better.
Yeah, that was amazing. Who are you taking in this game? I know who I'm taking in this game. Who are you taking in this game?
You know, Western Michigan has kind of rebuilt their season, but yeah, and Miami of Ohio has resurrected their team with Duquan Finn leaving. They look like a completely different squad. Is there a tough game to pick? I may fall. I'm going to probably fall fallacy, but I'm going to take the favorite at home. I'm going to go with the Broncos.
All right. Jude, what are you thinking on this game?
I'm also going with the Broncos. I think Western Michigan is gonna lay it down, win by at least a touchdown.
All right, Mr. Coyle.
I'm hoping that this game is as close as I want it to be, in which case I will give the edge to Western Michigan by less than a touchdown.
Blackhawk.
All righty, and I'm going to go with the Red Hawks of Miami of Ohio because I've ridden with them the whole year. I'm going to ride them to the end. And the week I didn't take them, they pummeled the other team because I was afraid the loss of their quarterback would be the difference in the game. I was wrong.
Miami, was, Ohio. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was actually the difference in the game. Him not being there made a massive difference. Miami of Ohio wins this game, covers the spread, pulls the MAC championship down in Michigan. An Ohio team winning in Michigan for the second week in a row. Go with the Red Hawks of Miami, Ohio. With that said, at 3 p.m. on ABC, from Mercury Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, it's the number 3 Georgia Bulldogs as the visiting team against the number 9 Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, this game's got playoff implications written all over it. Lindsay, we're going to get your thoughts last. Jude, who do you want in this game? Who are you picking in this game?
Well, for all those Miami fans and Texas fans, they're not going to like my pick because it's going to make it murky when Alabama cements their spot in the playoff. And Georgia, I believe, is already cemented into the playoff. When Alabama goes 2 and doubles up on Georgia this year, I think they're going to win 20-10. They're going to hold Georgia down, and it's going to be a good game, but Alabama's ultimately going to win that game, making it a lot more difficult for some of these other schools to get into the college playoff. And I don't think you should – if you're not in the top 10 and you're not playing for your conference championship, I don't think you should be in consideration for a playoff berth unless you have a resume possibly like Texas. I mean, they have an ugly loss, but they beat 2 teams who are probably cemented in.
Alabama has an ugly loss, too. They lost to Florida State, who lost to everybody.
By 14.
Yeah, they got smashed by Florida State, so not to pee on your parade, just a tiny bit. Maybe just a little bit. Who lost to Florida?
But yeah,
everybody lost to Florida.
I'm rolling.
Florida State, Texas.
I'm rolling with Kalen DeBoer to save his job and win the conference championship. So he'll have a job till he loses to Georgia, till he loses to someone next year.
All right, I'm going to take Georgia because, boy, I don't know. I don't like Georgia at all. I don't like Georgia's coach. I don't like Georgia's fans. I don't like Georgia's team. I respect them, but I don't like them. I'm not a big Alabama guy either. I really don't like any of the SEC teams. Maybe old school SEC teams. I don't know. However you want to look at that. I'm going to go with the dogs on this one. Hunter's going to do a dog bark here in a minute. He's going to go, hur, hur, hur. So, you know I'm taking Georgia. Jude's taking Bama. Hunter, who are you taking?
Well, every year since he has gotten there, I have picked out Kirby Smart as the guy who will take Georgia over Alabama in the SEC, and he has slowly done that. I'm not like some sort of front runner. I said it when they got rid of Mark Richt, and I saw the team with Kirby Smart. Because I've been a quasi Georgia fan. Damn, I almost went there, not for certain circumstances, but I think Kirby Smart's. I think that this is that game that they have to get over the hump. This is a chance to go and beat Bama in the SEC title game, to go and really cement that, like, 1, you get your win back, and 2, you are, outside of Ohio State and Indiana, the team to fear the most in the playoff. So I'm going to go with the dogs. It's in Atlanta. They won here a week ago. You could kind of tell they weren't super interested in the game they were playing against Georgia Tech. So we'll see how much they change.
What was a
if
tiebreaker?
they-
How did Ole Miss get iced out of that game? But
They lost to Georgia.
That was it. And they didn't play Alabama.
I don't know how the tiebreaker worked in such a way that, but from my understanding is that since Bama had beaten Georgia and A&M went down, Bama had the strongest strength of record as a one-loss team.
What happened
So
to
it
A&M?
goes from they lost.
To who?
Ole Miss had Georgia for like three, almost 3/4, complete 3/4. They had that game,
And A&M had Texas for a half.
I was at work that
No.
day. I remember I left the truck for a call, and I came back, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
I mean, it's those are like one of those games. You're not, like a Kirby Smart team, unless you blow them out, they're never out of it. Just beyond anything else, they're so. The stat's probably not true anymore, but at one point, a couple years ago, Georgia had more 5-stars on defense than the entire Pac-12 when it was the Pac-12, USC and UCLA and Oregon,
Yeah.
Washington.
Wow.
They're just an ultra talented, ultra deep squad. So yeah, Georgia, I think at some point they're going to break through that Bama barrier and kind of put that behind them. I think, and you hear all the noise around Bama, right? Ryan Williams is going to leave. This guy's going to leave. These guys are going to leave early. I don't necessarily think that this is the Bama of old. I don't think DeBoer is going to keep it going. I think that they got a salve in a kind of an easy backstretch, but they lost to Oklahoma. Georgia can replicate what Oklahoma did defensively and finally break through. And maybe it's quit giving Cash Jones the ball on 4th and 1. I wouldn't give a slow white guy the ball 3 times in a row in a big game.
All right, Lindsay, who are you picking in this game? And then you got a little something for us afterwards?
Oh, sure I do. I am going to take Georgia because every time I think of Atlanta, I think of broccoli. And it reminds me of the time I was shopping in the grocery store with my wife, and we were in the produce section. And some lady walks in, and she's looking all over all the shelves. Apparently can't find what she's looking for. So she flags down one of the guys who works there, and she says, "Excuse me, do you have any broccoli?" And the guy said, "I'm sorry, we just ran out, but we should have some in tomorrow." She says, "Okay, thanks." And she goes on about her way, and the guy goes back to work. And a minute later, she goes up to him again, and she says, "Excuse me, I don't see any broccoli. Do you have any?" And he said, "No, I just told you we're out of broccoli, but we will have some more tomorrow." She says, "Okay." And she goes off, and he goes back to work. And then like 3 or 4 minutes later, she comes out to him again and says, "I can't find the broccoli. Can you help me?" And he says, "You know what?" He says, "Can you spell cat as in catastrophic?" And she says, C-A-T.
Am I the only one that froze?
T.
Lindsay is frozen here.
Did we just drop out?
Yes, we just dropped out.
Did we just drop out?
You're at CAT.
Oh my god, that wasn't part of the fucking bit.
Yeah, Lindsay
Okay,
just
timing's everything in these
froze.
things. So he says, "Can you spell C-A-T and catastrophic?" She says, C-A-T. He says, "Can you spell fan as in fantastic?" And she says, "Yeah, F-A-N." And he says, "Can you spell fuck as in broccoli?" She says, "There's no fucking broccoli." He says, "I know. That's what I've been trying to tell you for the last 10 minutes."
All right. With that said, at 7 p.m. on Fox, the most expensive ticket on the market this weekend is definitely going to be between number 2 Indiana at number 1 Ohio State from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. This is a $400 ticket to go watch this game, as low as $400. That means that's the nosebleed. You're paying 400 bones to go watch this game. I know who Jude's going with. Jude, I'm going to let you go ahead and lead on this one because I think you're going to shock America with your pick. Jude, make your pick.
America was shocked when Indiana went into Autzen Stadium and handled handle business against one of the frauds in the country. I was shocked. I knew Oregon was a fraud. They're going to be shocked again when Indiana puts on their big boy pants, big boy shirt, and says, "All right, Michigan, we got your back." And they go in there and they smash Ohio State 30-10.
Wow.
All right, Mr. Handsome, you're frozen. Your face is frozen, but are you able to talk?
Yeah, I can talk. Everything looks fine to me. Am I still frozen?
You're like way behind.
Damn it.
You're like really good kung fu movie. You're like, yep. Oh, there it is for sure.
How about now?
Take the girl to the bridge. Kill her.
Take him to Detroit.
I will take what's probably the unpopular pick, and I will agree partially with Jude, but I don't think the game's going to be as lopsided as he thinks it's going to be. So I'm going to pick Indiana, but it's going to be a close game, and they'll win. They'll take the lead late in the game and hang on to it, but it won't be by much more than 10 points, if that.
Hunter, the dog's name was Indiana. Who are you taking?
One of the key things when two really highly talented and highly ranked teams come to face each other at the end of seasons is you look at team efficiency. Indiana's in the top 25 on both offense and defense, special teams. Ohio State's number one in all three phases. They have the most efficient offense, defense, and special teams in the country. They played Michigan, a team who is third in the Big Ten in sacks. And Julian Sain came out looking like he just put his uniform on at the end of the game. He's untouched. He's super efficient, other than a wild interception. I think Ohio State's pace of play is going to really frustrate Indiana because Indiana is an RPO-heavy team that requires taking multiple attempts at things. And Ohio State, they're going to get the ball. They're going to sit on it. They're going to score. They're going to go hold Indiana field goal, and they're going to go slowly space out the game. And everyone goes and says, well, they haven't been tested. No, they've been tested. The test is that unless you're a team with a dynamic quarterback who is physically faster and stronger than everybody else, you're not going to put them in a ringer. So all those reasons listed ahead, and the fact that Ohio State's got one of the best safeties in the country who will eviscerate Indiana's RPO game, I'm going to roll with the Ohio State Buckeyes by a solid 10 points.
I don't have anything fancy. I just know what I see. I'm picking Ohio State. Ohio State wins the game. I don't know the spread. We're going to go with that. All right, on to our last conference championship game. But it's not our last championship game. It's our last conference championship game. We got one more game after this. And this is the most laughable game of the weekend. At 7 p.m. on ABC, from Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, we have the Duke Blue Devils at 7-12 taking on the number 17 Virginia Cavaliers. Now, I want to give some props to Virginia's coach because he had every reason to lose this job over the last couple of years. And I like the fact that Virginia said, no, we got the right guy. We need to let the process work itself out. Virginia's had some very unfortunate things happen along the way, and the coach had to deal with a tremendous, extraordinary amount of circumstances around the program. And all he's done is he's brought them to the ACC championship game and brought them into the top 20 in the college football rankings. So, Tony Elliott, you should be the coach of the year this year. There should be no other guy that should be coach of the year other than you. You have done the impossible. You've made Virginia a winning program. You have resurrected them from the absolute bottom of the heap. I had you picked to get fired last year. I thought you'd get fired. All you've done is you've come out and proved everybody wrong and made Virginia a great team again. So congratulations to Tony Elliott. I'm picking the Virginia Cavaliers to win the ACC championship. They will represent the ACC in the college football playoff. Good luck to Virginia. Jude, who are you picking between Duke and Virginia?
This is just off of a gut feeling, not off of any stats or any way they played. But I'm going to roll with Duke. I just think Duke's going to win this game this weekend.
You know this will burn the college football playoff to the ground when they win this game.
Yeah, sure will.
It's a fucking travesty.
All right,
That
hold on a
team
second,
is
Hunter.
7
Hold on.
and fucking 5.
Hold on. Lindsay, who are you picking in this game?
As much as I like Duke, and I do, I think that they've met their match in this game. I will pick Virginia to win by 14.
Alrighty. All right, Hunter. Hit me with it.
Fucking travesty that a team that is 7 and fucking 5 has the audacity. Everyone talks about, Texas is 9-3. They shouldn't be competing for a playoff spot. They lost to Florida. Okay, sure. But then the same people will turn around and say, well, Duke deserves to make it because they're playing in the ACC title game. I don't want to fucking hear it. Duke lost to UConn at home. UConn's good this year. And they would get obliterated by fucking Florida, who obliterated FSU. Duke, a 7 and 5 team, sure, they should get to play for their conference title, but they don't deserve to play in the fucking college football playoff. All right, if you win the shittiest fucking Power 4 conference, that doesn't make you.
All right, find another word to use.
All right, if you don't win the poopiest fucking conference. In any case, I saw something much earlier in the season, right after Virginia had beat Florida State. There was a piece put out about Virginia and particular quarterback Chandler Morris. Tony held a team meeting with all the new players, introduced themselves and all that. And Chandler Morris stood up and said simply, I came here to win the ACC. And he's put his team in position to do that. I believe Chandler Morris will get it done. I'm going to go with the Cavaliers. They will win the ACC, and they will rightfully take a spot in the college football playoff.
All righty. So that's going to wrap up Conference Championship Week. But before you go, we have one more game to pick, and it might be the biggest game of the season. And it's for the Commander-in-Chief's Cup, and it's between Army and Navy. From MT&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. For tickets for as low as $249, so it costs a penny to go see this thing at 2 p.m. on CBS on December 13th, Saturday, December 13th, Heisman Week. You get to watch Army-Navy, one of the greatest rivalries in college football. Jude, I know who you're taking, but tell America why you're taking them.
Because they're a lot better than Army. Navy's a lot better team. Navy was almost, one win away from playing for a berth in the college football playoff, if I believe, anyways. But yeah, Navy's just a way better team than Army this year. I give mad respect to Army and to Air Force, who both had down years. They'll both bounce back. But Navy this year, they were by far. I guess this is for the Commander-in-Chief's trophy, right?
Yep.
No, Navy will retain it no matter what.
Oh, no matter what they get it? Okay, yeah.
But it's for the trophy. They're going to get the sweep for the year.
Right. So, yeah. So that's where I think Navy handles their business.
Comrade Coyle, who are we taking in this one?
Well, I got to take Navy because it's going to be a lopsided game. Communist my ass.
Comrade will take Navy. And
Mother Russia take Navy.
I think one of the players has a mom named Natasha.
And Father Boris.
Great breathing stock. They produce great farm implements.
Afraid of squirrels and moose.
He was born, he came out drinking vodka and smoking cigarettes.
And he's moose and squirrels.
All right, you're going with Navy, Lindsay?
Going with Navy. It's going to be lopsided. Army, unfortunately, is going to sputter by the time the second half rolls around. Look for Navy to take a 34-10 win.
All right. I, too, am going to go with Navy. I don't have any good reason other than I like the quarterback. I like the running back. Go Navy. Beat Army. Hunter, let's put a bow on it. Wrap this show up. Make your pick. Let's get the show on the road.
I'm going to go with the Navy midshipmen. It's good that this is on Heisman week. And I found, so they have service selections at both the academies. Navy is going to have the Navy players have gotten their service selections. Notable names like Eli Heidenreich. He will be a Marine Corps officer. He'll be Marine Corps ground. Means he'll get his actual job in the Marine Corps at TBS. Blake Horvath is going to be a pilot, a Navy pilot. That's good for him because after he beats Army by 30 points, he's going to have to go ahead and fly himself to New York for the Heisman Trophy ceremony, where he will be a Heisman finalist based on his performance in this game. Roll mids.
Roll mids. There you go. That's going to put a wrap on this show for the week. I'm going to explain how we're going to work coming forward next week. We'll know who's playing in the CFP and who's playing in bowl season. Jude is going to sing us a song next week.
Ooh.
We're going to cover bowl week coming up. We'll have our bowl extravaganza next week. So stay tuned for bowl week, bowl extravaganza, CFP preview, and then our following shows we'll have our next show when we have the next round of CFP and then to the CFP championship. Look forward to it. We have a lot of action coming up. We have some exciting stuff coming up. I think the Hulkster and Macho Man will be here. I think. Jude, Hulkster, Macho Man?
I think that's a real good possibility. Yeah, I would actually probably count on it.
Yeah, count on it. So, all right, well, stay tuned. Everybody say their goodbyes. We'll start with Lindsay.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember, you can't play college football without being in college and having a football.
All right, Jude.
We are SC. Fight on. We are SC. V is for victory. Can't spell SC. Can't spell SEC without an S and a C. Go Trojans.
All right, Hunter.
3 years in a row, Cats go bowling. Eat them up.
All right. I want to thank everybody for being here. I've had a lot of fun throughout this season. This has been a blast. This has been our best season yet, I think. And I'm down for doing another season. You guys down for doing another season?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Well, we're not done yet for the season, but we're done for tonight. And we appreciate your viewing, and enjoy college. Your viewage. Your viewage. I come to new words. It's like sewage, viewage. All right. Enjoy your viewage, and remember, the team that scores the most points always wins the game. Thanks for watching.
Night, everyone.